The following is a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.
Welcome to Championship Wrestling presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling. I am Bimbo Jimbo Kincaid, coming to you once again out of my home as we shelter in place in San Francisco. And I am so excited to take you back to this episode of Championship Wrestling because it is the Percy Pringle III Cup Finals. The Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol, taking on Ray Rosas. But that's not all. My broadcast partner, the timeless one, Levi Shapiro, will be in action against his friend turned bitter rival Buddy Royal with a shot at Dan Joseph's television championship on the line. All that and more on today's episode. This is Championship Wrestling, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
The following contest is a six-man tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Las Vegas, Nevada, the team of TJ Talamontes, Adriel Noctis, and Ice Williams.
Kicking things off here, week 2 of the PP3 Blockbuster. We're going to kick things off with tag team action. When I think of tag team action, I think of some of the teams in the history of this program, including Vermin. But we're not going to talk about them anymore because they are gone last week. How about that? The Wolf Zaddies getting the victory after Yuma issued the challenge.
I am still stunned, TK, over the events of last week. I can't believe it that Vermin is gone.
And introducing their opponents, being coming to the ring by Kid Isaac, the team of Super Beetle, Sweet Robin Shaw, and Gentleman Jervis, the Friendship Farm.
Got a bit of a power play coming our way because the Friendship Farm this week are at full strength. We're going to see all members in action together as a cohesive group. Now, they've had a couple issues here and there, a couple bumps in the road between Sweet Robin Shaw and Super Beetle, but recently they've been back to their winning ways.
That's right, TK. They are focused. They are focused. Of course, Jervis told me personally that he was looking for gold here at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Well, somebody that knows all about collecting jewelry, our partner, Blake Bulletproof Troop.
Absolutely. I'm always on the hunt for jewelry. I'm like a pirate. I'm interested to see how this matchup works with the cohesive unit of the Friendship Farm versus 3 guys from Vegas put together. I'd expect to see a much more teamwork-driven unit with the Friendship Farm.
Yeah, you know, that you make a good point because the body language told me a lot. You know, when Team Vegas came out here, these 3 great competitors out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Ice Williams looked like he was trying to make it all about him. Did you see he stepped in front of his other 2 partners trying to catch that spotlight?
Yeah, Ice Williams definitely had an extra chip on his shoulder, TK. Of course, coming off that tough loss.
See what you did there.
Coming off the tough loss against Dan Joseph, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say this Vegas team looks like 3 individual guys together on a team versus the Friendship Farm looks like a team of 3.
That's an excellent point. And I'll tell you what, though, kicking things off, somebody that knows a lot about tag team wrestling is Adriel Noctis. You know, one half of Wasted Youth. He and his partner Sketch have scored some really big victories, so maybe he can kind of lead the way by example in this matchup. It's going to be Super Beetle and Noctis. We're going to get a dance-off to kick things off?
I think Super Beetle was looking for the dance-off, TK, yes.
It's not really Noctis' style.
Single leg.
Boy, nice manipulation there out of the single leg that ground Super Beetle.
Absolutely, that was a textbook takedown.
One way to take out an insect, right? Go after the legs, or do you go after the head, abdomen, or thorax?
I think you can pick your, choose your.
Looked like the leg went pretty well that time.
Yep. Any point on that exoskeleton. Here we go, though. Super Beetle now back in control. Boy, just a lot of humanity in this matchup. 6-man, and especially on the side of the Friendship Farm when you factor in Sweet Robin Shaw.
Sweet Robin Shaw is a very, very big man.
Oh, a little rock, paper, scissors here. Okay, here we go. Back to square one.
Well, that was fair.
That's a pretty unique way to break a hold there, gentlemen.
That's got to be the first time I've seen that. I might try that in my next fight.
And let me know how that works out for you.
That'll go down.
I'll be there calling it. Fox Sports West. Can't wait.
Oh! That is very gross.
Ice Williams has seen enough, apparently. Tagged himself in.
I'm not sure I would have tagged in with the same hand that he just spit on.
He went for the shoulder. You saw that. Uh-oh. He might have a big hug coming here. Might have some crushed ice here momentarily.
But Ice, you better turn around here.
The way that they're arguing, this is the kind of tension that I was mentioning with you have 3 individual guys on a team versus an actual team. These guys are bickering between themselves more than they're fighting the other team.
Ran right into the sizable girth there of Sweet Robin Shaw.
Is he looking for a hug?
I believe he was. You know you're powerful when you can drop your opponent with a hug attempt. All right, that's going to bring in DJ Talamantes.
I hope DJ's ready for a hug.
One of my favorites. DJ Talamantes back on the scene, back at the red carpet rumble. This is Jervis asking to come in. And Robin Shaw happy to oblige, and the pace may quicken here.
I would definitely take some tickling from Jervis over a hug from Robin. A hug from Robin's probably a dangerous place to be, especially with the size difference between DJ and Robin.
I love that you were able to analyze that with a completely straight face.
That's what we got Troop here for, DJ.
Oh, he's one of the best analysts in the business. Tickling versus hugging. Would you rather? All right, here we go. Now, working over the arm.
Oh, he's got him.
Talamantes, maybe not too ticklish, though.
Just squish Jervis's hat.
Oh, that's
not a gentleman thing to do.
Yeah, he won't take that well. Oh, the noogie. Vicious offense here by Gentleman Jervis.
Little piggyback ride.
Uh-oh, look out here. Well, didn't get the full 8 seconds there. Standing switch. Little ballroom dancing. Oh! You used to be able to do this in that WCW Thunder video game. Remember that? They had the one stage was in like a dance hall, and the guys would just start dancing. Maybe just me.
I played a lot of them. Didn't play that one.
Look out here, Rockabye Slam. Could go out. Quiet, everyone. Oh, Ice Williams. Oh, what a party pooper. Just trying to put him down for a nap. Oh, my gosh.
Took his head off.
Talk about an icebreaker. What a drop kick. This matchup continues right after this. What a drop kick.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Attention! If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Again, if you've had complications from your hernia surgery after 2006, you could be eligible for financial compensation. We can find out what type of devices were used in your surgery. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. You deserve justice, and the call is free, and there is no fee unless we win your case. Call now for your free case evaluation. Again, call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now.
If you suffer from everyday aches and pains, turn to the solution millions have trusted to help relieve pain for over 16 years. Omega XL is a powerful drug-free natural anti-inflammatory supplement. The secret is it's sourced from green lip mussels found only in New Zealand that are super rich with over 30 healthy fatty acids, shown in decades of research to reduce pain caused by inflammation. It's small and easy to swallow, potent and effective. Call or click now to get our special offer. 2 bottles of Omega XL, a $140 value for only $39.95. But you must act now.
Nice roundhouse head kick by Noctis. Jumped sides, got into the cover, but it was that drop kick really that opened that door, and it's been all Team Vegas ever since as they've really slowed down Jervis, but desperation jawbreaker, but the wherewithal to get to the corner. Here comes Telemontes.
That's right. You're right, TK. Everything has been all Team Vegas. The second half of this matchup, Telemontes with the cover there. Only a 2, and now Jervis has to get to his corner. Will he be able to tag in Sweet Robin Shaw? Will he be able to tag in Super Beetle?
Gotta ask you, when you take a shot like that and you start seeing colors, what's it take to clear the cobwebs, Blake, and try and get your bearings?
The cobwebs don't necessarily clear. You just clench down on your mouthpiece and keep fighting.
All right, so we're clenched down on that mustache, I guess, if you're Gentleman Jervis. Telemontes making a fine showing of himself right now. And we question the teamwork, but look at this now. Frequent tags being made. Team Vegas.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, TK. Ever since that match against Dan Joseph, Ice Williams, there is, I don't know. I don't know what's changed about this guy. I don't know what's going on.
He almost put away Dan Joseph for that United Television title. Came just so close. Team Vegas rolling right now like a roulette table, looking good. Jervis has been isolated. Nobody there for that. Oh, what a spear from Jervis. Where in the world did that come from?
Jervis now has to capitalize, has to get to his corner. This is the moment.
He's got to dig deep. He's got to dig deep here. He's almost there.
Telemontes gets the tag. Here comes the big man, and he's fresh. Oh! Sweet Robin Shaw checks in, and he's throwing heavy, I mean literally heavy bombs.
Oh, big backdrop suplex by Sweet Robin.
Swing and a miss there by Noctis. Shaw. Noctis showing some great agility and balance there. Oh no! Sweet victory! Sweet victory!
What was that? What was that?
That's spin heel kick. He calls it sweet victory, but will it equate that? Doesn't elect to go for the cover. Tags in Super Beetle. Oh, look out here. We've seen this before. Bug juice, center of the ring. Here's the cover.
Oh! Ice. Yeah, Ice Williams causing Robin Shaw to break up the pin. Great move by Ice.
People getting smashed in the process.
There are bodies everywhere.
That would have done it. The bug juice.
Whoa, wait, TK, what? Is that Jamie Iovine?
Jamie Iovine, we haven't seen him since Royce Isaacs headed to the hills after losing the television title to Dan Joseph.
What's he doing out here?
What?
He's giving something to Ice Williams.
Looks like he's handing a business card to Ice Williams, maybe doing a little recruiting. Well, now's hardly the time.
Ice is totally disinterested in this tag team match now, and his partners are getting crushed.
Yeah, watch out back in the ring. Here comes Sweet Robin Shaw. Gathering momentum.
Oh, he's got a lot of it. He's got a lot of inertia going now.
And meanwhile, Ice Williams still on the outside.
Ice Williams is over there talking to David Marquez about this business proposition. Monkey flip, 3/4 of the way across the ring, like one of those 3,000 butterflies anyways. Well, speaking of 3,000, what a leg drop there by Shaw. Friendship Farm gets it done.
Here are your winners, the Friendship Farm.
Okay, we're going to take a look back. There was a lot of moving parts in this one. What a crazy matchup. We look at the action. On the outside, Jamie Iovine comes out of nowhere. You know, he's got no backing right now in terms of talent. He's in acquisition mode, gives the card to Ice Williams. Then back inside, Friendship Farm does the rest, gets the victory. Maybe more questions than answers. Here to sort it out, our own David Marquez.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Here we are, Jervis, the Friendship Farm. Congratulations, that was 2 whole segments, and you came out the winner.
What do you think of that? 14 whole minutes, was it? Oh, my goodness. We just had a great time in there, but last time I said the Friendship Farm, while we're very friendly, we're not very rich in material possessions. So I want to put a little gold around my waist in 2020. Yeah. But these 2 chaps want to put a little bit of tag team gold around their waists as well. Yeah. So pretty soon you'll be calling us the golden standard of friendship. And we love you all very much.
Anything else you want to say? You have gold coming up, more PP3 action. Who do you go ahead.
When times turn tough and skies grow dark, always remember and never forget, the Friendship Farm still loves you.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services by Philip Georges. Do not stop taking prescriptions without consulting a physician.
Attention! The heartburn medication Zantac has been linked to cancer.
If you were diagnosed with breast, stomach, bladder, kidney, pancreatic, colon, or any type of cancer after using Zantac, call attorney Philip Georges and join the Wolf Pack.
You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Call 1-800-553-2828. That's 1-800-553-2828.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 or more a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call now and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us anytime, day or night, and start saving big money for the exact same results. Have your credit card ready. Ordering is fast and easy, with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. Call now.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
That's right, get a good shot of it. Now I know you idiots are, howdy, gambling away the television title spot. But here's the thing, that is Levi's spot. And nothing is a gamble when it's a sure thing. Ain't nothing fitting better than a good price and a Levi. That dum-dum, hold this.
Levi Shapiro making his way to the ring along with Howdy Price. High stakes matchup, 2 former partners. Brothers, you might say, gonna go toe-to-toe for a shot at the United Television Championship down the line.
And introducing his opponent in this #1 contendership match for the United Television Championship from St. Paul, Minnesota, weighing in at 201.5 pounds, Buddy Royal!
Buddy Royal seems all kinds of fired up. Gentlemen, we heard from him. Line has been drawn in the sand. It certainly seems that Howdy Price is siding with Levi Shapiro, and Buddy Royal going so far as to say he's fired up, and he considers his former partner and Howdy Price to be his enemies now.
That's right, TK. This is as personal as it gets. And of course, not only is it a personal animosity, a matchup here, number one contendership for the TV championship is on the line.
It's always interesting when you see an emotionally charged opponent.
Yeah, that can be help or hindrance, can it?
Absolutely, it can be a double-edged sword because sometimes you can be overly aggressive and make poor choices out of emotion.
We'll see if Buddy Royal can compose himself. Official doing the best he can just to stay between these
Buddy,
two.
We're going right after Levi Shapiro. The classic connection explodes right here.
Here's a partnership, friendship, making the towns on that loop. Oh, look at this, going right after the arm, maybe trying to soften up Shapiro for that Royal seal right off the bat. He's got a game plan, and Buddy Royal trying to execute it immediately.
And of course, TK, it all fell apart at Milestone, didn't it?
It sure did. You know, a classic connection, return, lost that big matchup to the Wolf Zaddies, and afterwards, Shapiro totally snapped, locked Buddy Royal in that claw. In the weeks that followed, Buddy Royal would get that Royal seal on Shapiro, and here we go, one-on-one, and the stakes are high as well for a TV title shot up for grabs as well.
That's right.
Number one contender. These guys had a lot of longevity on this program as well. They were members of The Office there, Nico Marquez, and
his favorite
professional Peter Avalon, and so a lot of history between these two. You know, these guys used to call themselves 21st century old school. Well, this has an old school feel. This is a feud. This is now an absolute vendetta.
And we can see the pent-up aggression, the frustration, the pure anger and hatred that Buddy Royal has for his former tag team partner, Levi Shapiro.
Absolutely. Buddy's coming in here and fighting Levi. He's not coming in and competing. He's coming in here and trying to hurt Levi, and so far he's doing a great job.
Nobody home, though, with that knee, and you got to see there that that knee pad down around the shin, so offering no protection with that strike. Out the back door goes Buddy Royal beautifully into the roll-up. You know, since this breakup, look out here, inside cradle by Buddy Royal. We're seeing him go back to his amateur wrestling exploits, his mat game a little bit more.
100%. Buddy Royal cover. Only a 2 count. Again, what a technician, what a grappler in that ring. So scientific in his choices of maneuvers.
Love that roll up there. Nicely done. You got to wonder how it adjusts your technique, Blake, when you've been a tag team wrestler for so long, when you're so used to double team maneuvers, when you're so used to that outstretched hand, if you find yourself in a little bit of trouble, now they got to go it alone.
Absolutely, and both guys, because they've worked together for such a prolonged period of time, they know each other's games, they know what they're capable of and what they like to do. So I'm surprised that Levi's probably seen all these moves before, but it's probably the first time he's experiencing this moveset on himself.
And of course, who will forget Buddy Royal coming out and attacking Levi Shapiro at the end of that matchup he had with Dan Joseph, TK?
Absolutely, and that caused Shapiro to get the victory by disqualification, so did not become television champion. The highlight of that for me was Dan Joseph celebrating in the back with the title, big smile on his kisser, as if he had won the lottery.
He definitely got lucky. Levi Shapiro was doing some damage there. Dan Joseph was probably pretty close to losing that title.
Look at this,
shoulders down.
Yeah, shoulders down in double jeopardy because the ligament's screaming as well on that leg of Shapiro.
We are watching a physical dissection of Levi Shapiro here, Troop.
Absolutely, a much more technical grappler in Buddy Royal. You can see his skill level outclassing Levi Shapiro.
Double leg takedown, jackknife cover now by Buddy Royal.
Initially, we saw a little bit more emotionally...
beautiful.
A little more emotionally reactive Buddy Royal, but he seems much more technical and strategic in his approach now.
I mean, clearly, you can see how many times he has attempted to gain victory.
Yeah, he really has, and smart, especially when you have a title shot on the line. Fireman's carry from a standing position, didn't elect to drop to a knee, so even more pain there for Shapiro. I don't remember seeing Shapiro manhandled like this recently at all. Usually a real tough-nosed, hard-nosed competitor. You mentioned it. He's getting dissected. He's getting taken apart.
Absolutely, TK. And I got to ask you, I got to ask you, Buddy Royal, how do you compare this Buddy Royal to the Buddy Royal in the Classic Connection?
He's not leaning on dirty tactics. He's not leaning on shortcuts. He's leaning on his God-given ability. He's leaning on his wrestling expertise.
Oh!
And a nice counter there. And leaning on the veteran wares, there was Shapiro, and might have just turned the table. And you got to remember, Blake, Howdy Price out there, always a factor. More on that right after this. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more coming up next.
If you're like 58% of Americans, you don't have a college degree. Is it because traditional school seems intimidating? At Independence University, all classes are held online. Are books and supplies just too expensive? Online means no books to buy. We even give you a new laptop and tablet to keep when you graduate. Does your life not fit a regular college? At Independence U, our college fits your schedule. At IU, there's no barriers to your degree.
Call 1-800-599-5999.
If you suffer from everyday aches and pains, turn to the solution millions have trusted to help relieve pain for over 16 years. Omega XL is a powerful drug-free natural anti-inflammatory supplement. The secret is it's sourced from green lip mussels found only in New Zealand that are super rich with over 30 healthy fatty acids, shown in decades of research to reduce pain caused by inflammation. It's small and easy to swallow, potent and effective. Call or click now to get our special offer. 2 bottles of Omega XL, a $140 value for only $39.95. But you must act now.
Attention! If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Again, if you've had complications from your hernia surgery after 2006, you could be eligible for financial compensation. We can find out what type of devices were used in your surgery. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. You deserve justice, and the call is free. And there is no fee unless we win your case. Call now for your free case evaluation. Again, call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now.
As you mentioned, Jeff Resnick, the Classic Connection explodes here at the PP3 blockbuster. Buddy Royal going right after Levi Shapiro on the outside, pressing the offense.
Well, right before the break, Levi Shapiro had cut Buddy Royal off there, but it looked like he was just trying to gather some space, maybe get out of dodge here.
Yeah, but you don't want to squander that opportunity, though. A shot at the United Television title hanging in the balance here in this matchup.
Do you think Levi Shapiro is questioning his decision to accept the matchup?
Oh, look out here. Gets brought in the hard way. I don't know about that, but I think he's just trying to find a way to get a breath. And into the cover now goes Buddy Royal. You mentioned it. Getting completely out-wrestled, Blake, is Shapiro thus far.
Absolutely. And something to keep in mind is Levi Shapiro, I thought, was getting the upper hand on Daniel Joseph. And the way Buddy Royal is getting the upper hand on Levi Shapiro, if Buddy wins this match, man, Daniel Joseph's going to have a tough matchup with Buddy Royal.
This might be the best Buddy Royal we've seen in quite some time. Just looks to be bringing his A game. And he's really nullified Howdy Price on the outside. Here we see the head scissors. Howdy Price has been virtually a non-factor.
But he's keeping it in the ring. He's keeping it in the, look at it, in the center of the ring, TK. Right, keeping Levi Shapiro away from Howdy Price, preventing that potential interference.
Yep, keep those grubby mitts out of there, Howdy.
Not only keeping in the middle of the ring, but keeping consistent pressure on Levi. So there's not any time where Howdy can sneak in and do something.
Look at this, using the ropes there into a beautiful headlock takedown. Tons of velocity on that, beautifully done.
Buddy Royal is just an absolutely incredible in-ring technician, TK. Absolutely incredible.
Sure is. You know, actions speak louder than words. You know, recently in Championship Wrestling up in the Bay Area, our San Francisco edition, a co-host on that program is Levi Shapiro. He's been talking all kinds of trash. Now we'll see if he can back it up.
Wait. Oh, Buddy Royal holding on, coming out of the backdrop suplex.
1, 2, 3.
Howdy Price getting that foot of Levi Shapiro there to the ropes. Yeah, boy, holding on like a pit bull there, guys. Despite the belly-to-back suplex, Buddy Royal was holding on to that headlock.
But like you talked about, Levi Shapiro talking up a storm, talking trash on Buddy Royal. But you know Buddy Royal heard all the words Levi Shapiro sent his way.
Yeah, no, and again, it's just more reason that he's so fired up.
Buddy Royal's got to be careful letting Levi Shapiro get out of the ring like that and recover a little bit and giving Howdy opportunities to potentially do something. He's got to keep this in the middle of the ring and stay aggressive.
And that's what it took. It took an eye rake.
Yeah, it took an eye rake to finally cut Buddy Royal off here. Finally shut him down. And now Levi Shapiro is going to wrestle his match, Troop.
I mean, you can't blame Levi. With the amount of damage he was taking so far in this fight, he had to do something different.
Took the shortcut. I mean, that's the name of the game for the Classic Connection. And now 1/2. Levi Shapiro going to work. Off of the neck snap, into the cover. Count at 2, coming close. Winner of this will get a shot. You know Shapiro wants another shot at Dan Joseph. It kind of got spoiled last time out in his estimation by Buddy Royal.
Hey, and you gotta figure Dan Joseph, of course, you know, watching on here, paying close attention to who's going to be his next challenger.
You think he's watching this entire matchup, holding the title up and smiling?
Most likely, yeah.
That's the visual I get. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, well, look at
shots by Howdy. He's biting him. Come on, you've eaten enough. You've eaten enough. Disgusting.
And you talk about high-stakes match, TK. Don't forget, fans, coming up next in our main event, it will be Anthony Idol against Ray Roses in the finals of the PP3 Cup tournament.
Covered out. He bit the man's cranium. Now the back elbow by Shapiro, yes. But, you know, I love that. You got 2 consecutive matches that's all about that fast track to title competition.
And I'll tell you what, a tough road for Dan Joseph here. He's got to worry about who wins this match. He's also got to potentially worry about who wins the PP3 Cup match, TK.
That's true. Champions got to have your head on a swivel this time of year. And Buddy Royal had that bulldog takedown well scouted there, Blake, and was able to nullify it. Now turning it back on.
Buddy Royal's back in this fight.
So despite the antics of Howdy Price, able to overcome. Look out here, neck breaker coming. No, oh! Little round of applause.
Looked like Levi Shapiro went for that claw a little bit, but Buddy Royal was able to duck under it. Maybe that has to do with all the teamwork they've done in the past.
Trying to string together these suplexes. He calls that the 3 Kings if he can make it the trifecta. Look out here, going for it. No, countered again. He who counters last might counter best. He's countered right into that claw. Had it well scouted, had the 3 Kings scouted.
This could, wait a second.
Whoa, triangle choke.
What do you see here, Troop?
He's got to get that foot behind his knee.
Yeah, but he's using the distance right now just to get that claw. Oh, he's taking off the glove. Wow, what a counter. How about that? Using the triangle to counter the claw. You ever seen that before?
Oh! Big tornado punch by Levi Shapiro. What's he gonna do here? Oh, drops him down, TKO.
Beautifully done. Calling the audible, is that gonna do it? No, gets out of there, gets the shoulder up.
Almost at the last moment.
Classic Connection no more, but a classic encounter indeed.
Hero's looking for his glove. He doesn't know where his glove's at. He's looking to do the claw again.
Well, is that... Now, what is Howdy Price doing with the PP3 Cup? That's on the line next.
What's he looking to do? Get his man disqualified? TK, I'm not following this.
I think he thought it was a cookie jar. Now the glove back in, and you know that adds the effectiveness of that claw, but look out, he's looking for the
royal seal.
Yes.
No, he's got the claw. He's got the claw.
Count, and who knows what's on that claw?
Oh, the tap. He's tapping. That's all she wrote.
Here is your winner, Levi Shapiro.
What a battle. Shapiro finds a way, digs down deep and gets it done. He'll go on to a shot at the television title. PP3 Finals coming up next.
Hey folks, John Roberts from the United Wrestling Network, and boy do we have new and exciting things for you. We've got all kinds of brand new content for you that comes out every single week on The Push.
Winning the title was awesome out there. The crowd's energy, you feel all that excitement.
We dig into the vault for Heritage Hall.
More bang for the buck. Yes.
And we also hear from the main man himself, Mr. David Marquez. He's going to let you know all about the Marquez mentality.
A lot of people joke that I'm the king of studio wrestling.
Coast to coast and around the globe, this is Championship.
It's not that I thought studio wrestling was the answer.
We're bringing you all kinds of new and exciting content every single week. So make sure you give us a follow at United Wrestling, at United Wrestling Network, and click that thumbs up, click the like, click the subscribe, because you never know what's going to come next.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Attention! If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services by Philip Georges. Do not stop taking prescriptions without consulting a physician.
Attention, the heartburn medication Zantac has been linked to cancer.
The FDA has called for the popular over-the-counter heartburn medication Zantac to be pulled from the market. If you were diagnosed with cancer and were a daily user of Zantac, call attorney Philip Georges and join the Wolf Pack right now. Zantac may have caused your cancer.
I'm attorney Phil Georges. If you or a loved one were a daily user of the heartburn medication Zantac and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you were diagnosed with breast, stomach, bladder, kidney, pancreatic, colon, or any type of cancer after using Zantac, call attorney Philip Georges and join the Wolf Pack. You may qualify for a cash award.
Call 1-800-651-2929. That's 1-800-651-2929. 1-800-651-2929.
Main event time here on week 2 of the PP3 Blockbuster, and that's what it's all about. The PP3 Tournament Finals about to go down. Strength in numbers. Here we see, flanked by the United Tag Team Champions, Adrian Quest, Andy Brown. Or you see Ray Rosas. You might be questioning, what's that gold he's got around his waist? Well, Ray Rosas recently claimed the Arizona State Championship on our sister program, Championship Wrestling from Arizona, defeating EJ Sparks for the vacant title. And he'll have a huge opportunity to earn more gold if he takes home Percy's Privilege.
Huge stakes here in our main event match. Who will go on to win Percy's Privilege? Will it be Ray Rosas or will it be his opponent, Anthony Idol?
There you see him, the Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol. What a path. The big man is carved through the PP3 field. In the quarterfinals, defeated Zicky Dice, someone who's been on fire everywhere. And then in the semifinals, defeated one half of the tag team champions in Uptown Andy Brown. So an impressive list of competitors that he defeated. On the flip side, Ray Rosas defeating Frankie Frank and Jordan Clearwater set the stage for the PP3 finals, and momentarily going to set the stage as only he can, our own Adnan Qureshi.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is the final match in the 2020 PP3 Cup Tournament. Introducing first in the corner to my left, from Antelope Valley, weighing in at 191 pounds, he is the Arizona State Champion, Ray Rosas.
Champion of all Arizona.
And introducing his opponent, from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 276 pounds, the Neon Phenomenon, Anthony Idol.
Stage is set. There you see what it's all about, the prestigious PP3 Cup, named for Percival Pringle III. Legendary personality in the world of professional wrestling, and graced us with his presence right here on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Absolutely. You look at both these guys, and you can see an astronomical size difference between Anthony Idol and Ray Rosas. This is exactly why we have weight classes in combat sports. The only way I see Ray Rosas getting the upper hand here is using dirty tactics against Anthony Idol.
Well, he can certainly do that, and he's got a lot of experience and veteran know-how as well, but Anthony Idol has been dominant thus far in the tournament, Jeff.
That's right. Anthony Idol, a dominant force in that ring, and you know, something of note, and I was surprised to see it. Adrian Quest and Andy Brown, Ray Rosas sent him to the back. What do you think of that, TK?
I don't know. Maybe, you know, wants to prove a point, wants to go it alone.
Maybe,
or maybe
he's got
it's
some
just
other trick up his sleeve.
Probably, certainly so. Or maybe it's just the that mystery of the unknown and playing the mind games with his opponent, the Neon Phenomenon. And, you know, he did win Arizona State Championship gold without Adrian Quest, without Andy Brown.
Now, wait, what's this, TK? What's this about?
He's playing the waiting game. You know who else Ray Rosas played the waiting game with is Dustin Starr, our colleague out in Memphis, Tennessee. Of course, that big birthday bash is coming up. Dustin 5-Star wants to get his hands on Ray Rosas because at last year's Red Carpet Rumble, Ray Rosas put his hands on Starr's lovely Maria. So, you know, that's one of those matches you might see at that birthday bash if Dustin has his way. All the information on that if you're watching our Memphis broadcast at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
I wasn't even sure Ray Rosas was going to get in the ring. We've seen him walk out in the middle of a match before. He doesn't care about anything. Probably not the PP3 Cup either. So we're lucky to even have him inside the ring with the bell ringing.
Oh, look at that. See, there you go. There's that distraction, the unknown. He said, get him. And then he forced Idol to turn around, nobody there, and Rosas tried to take that unfair advantage, but didn't work out for him, and now the powerhouse going to work, sending Rosas, pillar to post, look out!
Whoa, high elevation, back body drop, Troop. This is the power, the size difference you talked about.
Exactly. Frequent flyer miles on Anthony Idol Airlines.
You want the pretzels or the peanuts, Ray Rosas, and now Idol going to work. Got him all kinds of tied up. A little 4-point stance. I like that. That's some right out of my defensive line days.
That's like getting hit by a Mack truck right there.
Bull rushing all the way into the backfield. Tackle for a loss by the Neon Phenomenon.
Yeah, but listen, Idol's got to stay on Ray Rosas. Got to stay in control. We know how sneaky and conniving and crafty Rosas can be.
Scoop and a slam by Idol. Idol's been one speed ahead throughout this entire tournament. We mentioned defeated Zicky Dice, Andy Brown. Look out here, maybe a little
Big boy getting some airtime.
The neon lights come crashing down. Here we go into the cover. And there you see that craftiness of Rosas on display.
Right onto the ribs of Rosas. You gotta wonder if he could break a rib with a move like that.
Good, but Rosas there not using his energy to kick out. He knew where he was. And again, this tournament, guys, if you think about it, it really over time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you factor in having to qualify, plus the quarters, semis, and finals, in the tournament, you have to win 4 consecutive matchups to claim Percy's privilege. That is quite the uphill battle.
And you can see the patience and the determination on the face of Anthony Idol. He's taking his time. He's focused on not missing out on this incredible opportunity.
There's the underhanded tactics of the jawbreaker, trying to nullify the size and strength advantage again, Blake. It's a big hill to climb. So far the strength has been the difference for Idol.
Now Ray Rose is up to the middle rope. Big dive. Uh-oh.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Caught him in midair. Look out here. Big time power slam. Hold on, into the cover now. Looking to take home the cup. Not yet. Idol in total control. PP3 finals continue next.
Millions have trusted Omega XL to relieve their pain for the last 15 years.
No amount of money would have me put my reputation on the line to endorse a product. This product works.
Omega XL, a one-of-a-kind anti-inflammatory supplement formulated to help relieve pain caused from inflammation in your back, knees, neck, and joints.
Since I've been taking Omega XL, I feel like a new man. I get up in the morning and I'm ready for the day.
Omega XL is not fish oil. The secret is it's sourced from green-lipped mussels, only found in the pristine waters of New Zealand. It contains a blend of over 30 fatty acids compared to common fish oil. It would take 10 fish oil capsules to get the same benefits of one Omega XL.
Why not spend your money on something that works? I mean, this works.
Omega XL has sold for $70, but today we reduced the price to $39.95. Call now to receive Larry's special offer, a second bottle free, a value of $140 for just $39.95. But you must call now.
And if it didn't work, I wouldn't be backing it.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now.
If you're like 58% of Americans, you don't have a college degree. Is it because traditional school seems intimidating? At Independence University, all classes are held online. Are books and supplies just too expensive? Online means no books to buy. We even give you a new laptop and tablet to keep when you graduate. Does your life not fit a regular college? At Independence U, our college fits your schedule. At IU, there's no barriers to your degree.
Call 1-800-599-5999.
Welcome back, everyone. Main event, PP3 finals. Anthony Idol chasing Ray Rosas to the outside. Rosas tried to get a break, not having it as Idol, continuing that full court press, trying to take home Percy's privilege.
And you got to think, if you're Watts, if you're Dan Joseph, right, if you're any of the champions here in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, who do you want to win? I mean, obviously Adrian Quest and Andy Brown, they're hoping for Ray Rosas, but Dan Joseph, Watts, what do you think they think?
Honestly, if it was up to me, I wouldn't want to fight that mammoth of a man, Anthony Idol. I would definitely prefer to fight Ray Rosas.
Look out here.
No! I would definitely prefer to fight Ray Rosas. But here's the thing, is that Andy Brown and Adrian Quest are going to be out there with them, pulling some dirty tactics.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, if you're Watts, you're Dan Joseph, the one thing, though, Troop, is I'd rather have Idol winning that thing, because I know if Idol cashes in, he's going to do it straight to my face as opposed to behind my back.
That's the thing with that Percy's privilege. It can be cashed in at any time, in any situation.
Man, I would love to see Anthony Idol win this and get in there with Eric Watts. Two of the biggest boys on the United Wrestling Network throwing down for the biggest title.
Oh, look out here, elevator going down. Dropped him down in a big way there. You saw the big shots there, unanswered shots momentarily by Idol. And then again, the veteran instincts of Rosas. Slip out the back door, attack the legs of the big man, taking his wheels out. They're all the same size when you're horizontal on the mat there, Blake.
Absolutely.
It has been, as we mentioned, that styles clash. The strength, the physicality of Idol, and the resourcefulness, you might say, of Ray Rosas.
And now Rosas just going to work on that leg of Anthony Idol. Again, like we said, if Idol can't get to his feet, he is at a significant disadvantage. You take away the power, you take away the strength, the size, all of that out the window.
Absolutely. You say resourceful, I say ruthless. The way he's attacking that knee, it's vicious.
And it's having an effect for certain. You can see just the effort put in by the Neon Phenomenon just to try and get back to a vertical base, just to get knocked back down again. In firm control is Rosas. Oh, nasty shot. That's got to send lightning bolts of pain all the way up the leg of the Neon Phenomenon.
Again, Rosas, obviously, with the veteran experience he's been in these big matches here in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood before. Anthony Idol, newer on the scene here, TK.
Yeah, but he's been so impressive. And what a way it would be to explode on the scene by winning the PP3 Cup and Percy's Privilege. But that knee in big-time jeopardy, I don't know if the big man...
He's got to do something to get out of this position.
It's only the power saves him there, able to crawl and get to the ropes. But look at that, hanging on for every second he can muster was Rosas. Dishing out extra pain along the way. You know, you mentioned the champions being put on notice for whoever wins this. Champions will be in action next week. I'm told our main event will be a championship showcase in which it'll be the Heritage Champion Watts teaming with the television champion Dan Joseph, taking on the reigning tag team title holders Adrian Quest and Andy Brown. What a main event next week. And we're not going to be done with this PP3 blockbuster yet. Look out here.
Covers. Of course, that's a match with huge implications. 2 count.
Doesn't cost any more to try.
You think Rose is getting a little frustrated though here, TK?
I would, but he's doing what he can to keep Anthony Idol down, and that's the big thing. If he can keep this big man off his feet, where the big man can start throwing bombs or power moves, that's a big step in the right direction if you're Ray Rosas.
Absolutely. Having a bum knee is going to make it significantly harder for him to pick Ray Rosas up and slam him back down.
I'll show you all.
Now Rosas not happy with the words of the crowd here at the Ocean View Pavilion.
Ray Rosas pulling a Mike Tyson and trying to take a piece of Anthony Idol's ear off.
You have to say, but he was butt me. I got a 3-inch cut over my eye. Remember that? Anyway, Mike Tyson, sure, or maybe a page right out of the Howdy Price playbook. Saw him try and get in a quick snack earlier on.
I'll show you who's better. Ray's better.
Ray claiming that he's better, but I'll tell you right now, the proof has been in the pudding. Time of possession offensively has been in the favor of Rosas. Well, maybe until that, ain't nothing but post on that shoulder.
Here we go.
Oh man, little flip-flop and fly in the public, if you will.
Anthony Idol feeling it, the Neon Phenomenon. Can he win the PP3 Cup? Can he defeat Ray Rosas?
He's got Ray seeing stars right now.
Have you ever thrown any atomic elbows?
I haven't thrown an atomic elbow, but if I did, it'd probably be off the top rope.
There we go, or the top of the cage, maybe. Continuing to be frustrating here is Ray Rosas. Going up top, little smash and dash.
Maybe up top for that top rope elbow, TK.
Oh, method to the madness. He's put a lot away. A lot of history on this program. Who could forget him coming off the top of the cage at one point on Peter Avalon? But lately, he elects not to give the crowd what they want.
I think taking a little bit too much time, giving Anthony Idol the opportunity to capitalize.
Absolutely. This is the second time Ray's gone up to the top.
Oh, wow. Wasn't sure if the leg was going to hold up. What a huge superplex by Anthony Idol.
I bet they felt the seismic activity of that slam all the way in San Diego.
Big time superplex, but as luck would have it for Rosas, he rolls to the outside. So Anthony Idol, he's got to give chase with that bum wheel. Drop into the floor, putting more pressure on that knee and not immediately able to capitalize and cover.
That's the second time we've seen Ray go to the top ropes to try and get an advantage, and both times,
oh man,
ouch.
Clip in the knee, get you 15 in the league, but legal here.
Like I was saying, both times Ray's gone to the top rope, he's been counted. The first time Anthony Idol caught him and slammed him. The second time was that big superplex.
Uh-oh, look out here. Looking for the choke slam. Oh, somehow, some way, that knee held up, and Idol got all of it. High impact with the choke slam, taking home the cup. Oh my goodness, just a sliver of light between the canvas and the referee's hand and the 3 count.
Idol really planted Rosas on that one. I'm surprised he was able to kick out.
I'll tell you what we're seeing, Trip. I'll tell you what we're seeing, TK. We are seeing superhuman strength from the Neon Phenomenon. He is a phenomenon here.
We got guys coming out from the back.
Andy Brown out there. And now, coming in the back door, Adrian Quest, Young Fuego, he gets caught.
Oh, you're wondering where they were.
Throw out the trash!
The referee was distracted, didn't see any of it, TK.
Oh, no, power bomb, though. Not to be undone. Idol finds a way. Gonna win the finals again. What keeps Rosas alive? You can't kill this guy.
We're so close, so close. Which one of these men will win the PP3 Cup? Which one will win Percy's privilege? Andy Brown, Adrian Quest down on there. Whoa! What was that? No! Wait a second. Ray Rosas grabbed Idol's leg and forced him to kick the ref.
No, yes, exactly. Oh, no.
What?
No, you're kidding me.
What?
He didn't know. He didn't kick you.
But ladies and gentlemen, again, Ray Rosas grabbed Idol's leg, forced it to kick the ref, TK.
Adnan Qureshi over there to get the official decision.
This can't be what it looks like. This can't be what it looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Nick Bonanno has ruled that Anthony Idol struck an official. Thus, your winner by disqualification and the winner of the 2020 PP3 Cup, Ray Rosas.
You cannot. No, you can't win the cup like this. You know, the memory of Percy Pringle, you can't win the cup like this.
TK, in professional wrestling, a travesty of justice is cliche, but this was a travesty of justice.
He struck the official with one hell of an assist, but there you have it, your cup bearer, Ray Rosas, in the most disgusting, cheap way possible.
It sickened me at the time, and it reopened the wound here once again to see Ray Rosas have to resort to such tactics to win the PP3 Cup tournament. But a win is a win in Ray Rosas' book. Just ask him. He is your Percy Pringle III Cup tournament winner. And what a tournament it was, and what an episode of Championship Wrestling presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling it was. And come on back again next week, because we have a phenomenal tag team main event for you. Hollywood Heritage Champion Watts and television champion Dan Joseph taking on Uptown Andy Brown and Adrian Quest. All that and more on next week's program. And until then, stay happy, healthy, be safe, wash your hands, and wear the mask, ladies and gentlemen, please. You might save a life. Until then, we will see you next week, and thank you so much for watching, wrestling fans.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.